So I was on Reddit the other day, and I saw something about prepping in a semi-truck. And, you know, I drive a semi-truck. So I believe I'm fairly qualified to answer or to talk about prepping in a semi-truck. I've made a video quite a while ago about this very topic, prepping in a semi-truck. Now, it is more difficult to prep in one of these because it's a very small space. Not only is it a small space, but you've got restrictions that you never really would have thought about. And that is things like, how heavy are my preps? Because in a semi-truck in the United States, there's weight restrictions worldwide for these vehicles. But in the United States, it goes a little something like this. Standard tires, your steer tires, the front axle can hold up to 12,000 pounds. Your drive axle, the two axles on the back, the ones that are powered, can have up to 34,000 pounds. In my situation, where I have heavy duty steer tires, I can have up to 14,000 pounds and up to 32,000 pounds on my drive axle. So long as they don't go over, the gross of 80,000 pounds, truck and trailer. So you've got to keep that in mind. I can't let my drive tires get anything more than 34,000 pounds, and I can't let my steer tires get anything more than 14,000 pounds. So you have to take your preps into consideration. If you're going to have a lot of weight on the truck and you are, let's say you're an owner operator, you could be restricting what loads you can take because of the weight of your truck. That's something that a lot of people don't really tend to think about. Holy crap, it's actually sprinkling in LA. So that's something that is important to think about, is what are the weight of your preps. And preps on a semi-truck, one of the bigger preps is going to be water. You drink it and you're going to be cooking with it. At least I do. So water is extremely important on the truck. And then water is also extremely heavy. So I would suggest getting multiple 1-gallon jugs of water on the truck. If you have the room underneath the bunk, you can store them there. Just make sure there's nothing that's going to crush it and potentially make them leak. And then, have a bunch of bottled water. Now, when you're getting your water, like your 1-gallon jugs of water, for me, I would be using that for cooking. So I would buy my 1 gallons in distilled water, because it doesn't need to be purified, or it doesn't need to be like regular drinking water or anything like that. It can be distilled for cooking. So that's what I would use that for. And then the bottled water for drinking, obviously. And I would suggest having at minimum on the truck at minimum one 32 case pack of bottled water. In my case, it is 32 pack of Arrowhead water. So I would recommend actually having 234 packs of, or 230, whatever it is, packs of water, like 2 packs of them on the truck at all, you know, and then having a minimum of 1 at all times. And for the case of food on the truck, my recommendations would be like having high protein food is what I have. I've got, I think it's Campbell's canned food. I don't have anything that I can see right now, but I've got a lot of like regular sized canned food, a lot of it. It's different, it's mixed stuff. It's some of it's like beef with macaroni, some of it is New England style clam chowder, some of it is regular like chicken soup, chicken noodle soup, that kind of stuff. It's just a variety. On top of that, I've got a lot of canned meats. Like I have quite a bit of canned chicken. I've got a lot of canned chicken. I do actually have one right here. Canned chicken breast. Let's see here. 354 grams of canned chicken breast. You can get a lot. You can stock up on canned tuna or just fish in general if that's what you like. And I've got, what is it? I think it's canned pulled pork, something along those lines. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's more on the expensive side, but it is really good. And that's something that you want to have in your preps, is food that you like, food that you really enjoy. Because, shit hit the fan situation, you want to have as much morale as you possibly can. You want to, that's a really nice Dukes of Hazzard Charger. Anyways, you want to have food that you enjoy. That way it keeps your spirits up. You want food that's going to keep your spirit up. You don't want to eat food that you hate. You don't want to have you don't want to have to eat food that you don't like. You want to have food that you're going to enjoy, because you want to keep your mentality up, your mental health. You want to keep your mental health up the best that you possibly can. So, that's the same with prepping food in general, on or off of a semi-truck. Keep food that you like. So, another thing for food on the truck is, this is actually something that I need to go get really soon. I'm completely out of this, and that is like pastaroni and rice-a-roni. It is more expensive. It's like $3 or $4 a box, I think, depending on where you get it. I have a Lowe's grocery store in my town that I live in, and I will not get it there. It is outrageously expensive compared to like a Walmart. So I actually need to go to a Walmart and get some pastaroni and rice-a-roni. The only issue is I only have one Walmart that I know that I can go to over in California along my route, and I already passed it, and that's Walmart in Indio, California. So I need to go there at some point, and I need to pick up a bunch of rice-a-roni and pasta-roni, because that is really good food. It's really simple, really easy to make, and it's a really good prep item because, you know, they last a while. I also need to go down to an Asian store, Asian market. I need to pick up a lot of rice noodle, and rice noodle stays good for a very long time. It's, you know, it's regular, like your pasta items. So I need to pick up some of that. That's a really good item for prepping on the truck, is pasta-roni, rice-a-roni, rice noodle, or noodles in general, like pasta in general is good for the truck. It lasts a long time. And then you want your spices for the truck. You know, if you've got things like regular rice noodles, if you know what rice noodles are, you know that they're pretty bland. They're pretty, you know, they're just pretty bland by themselves. So, you know, get some spices for the truck, or just in general, I guess. Chicken bouillon, beef bouillon, whatever, you know, whatever you like. Some chili powder, stuff like that, you know. That's all really, really decent stuff that you can prep on a semi-truck, because it doesn't weigh much at all, and it's relatively easy to store. You know, semi-trucks have cabinets. I mean, some have more than others. Mine doesn't really have a lot. So the storage space on my truck isn't it's not very good. But pasta-roni, rice-a-roni, rice noodles, seasonings, spices, you know, I guess it's the same. I tend to keep Himalayan salt on the truck and sea salts. I don't have any iodized salt. Probably a good idea to carry some iodized salt, but I mean, it's not really, you know, it's not really going to be enough to help in a, you know, radiated landscape kind of situation, but it's besides the point. Carry multiple gallon jugs of gallon water distilled for cooking. Carry at least like a 32 pack of drinking water, bottled drinking water. You know, that's for the food and water preps in general. I don't have a refrigerator. I mean, I do have a refrigerator, but it doesn't get cold enough to really store any meat items, like cold meat items. So I don't store any of that. But you can get refrigerators, freezers for the truck. You can do that, no problem. A couple other things to carry on a semi-truck for preps, and that is going to be like your bug out equipment. Now, your bug out bag for a semi-truck might be more extensive than it would be for your average bug out bag for your home. At least it is for me, because my bug out bag is going to be my get home bag for the truck. And since I'm in California most of the time, and I do not live in California, I live in New Mexico, so it's going to be a long walk home. So my bug out bag is more extensive than the average. But my bug out bag more so consists of water, purifying water, and shelter. You know, knife, machete, stuff like that, self-protection. You know, I've got tarps. I've got a bunch of tarps. They're not heavy, but they're not El Cheapo either. So, you know, I don't want to really get into the entirety of my bug out bag. Just, you know, it's just not what I don't really want to do that. You know, just make sure that it's that your bug out bag has the, you know, you have the ability to obtain water. You have the ability to obtain food and eat food. You have shelter in it. You have some sort of self-defense with it. Just the general stuff. You know, y'all know what a bug out bag is. I don't need to get into that right now. And you know, prepping on a... Let me take that back. Having a Class A CDL in the United States, driving a Class A vehicle in the United States is kind of prepping by law. Let me explain. On a semi-truck, we are required to carry certain items. By law, we have to have a fire extinguisher in the green, charged and ready to go. And another thing, for example, is we have to have spare fuses on the truck. While that isn't necessarily considered prepping, it is, in a way, prepping. You're prepared. If you have a fuse go out, you are prepared. You have spare fuses. If you have a fire on the truck, I don't know what a little bitty fire extinguisher that we have is going to do. We have a fire extinguisher. Now maybe you could roll up, you see the shoulder is on fire, with a small fire, maybe you roll up and you're able to put it out. And you obviously, you know, you need to get a new fire extinguisher, recharge it somehow. But semi-trucks are, in a way, prepping, just because we have to have spare items. You know, we have to have flares and or triangles, just in case we need to be on the side of the road. We're prepared for that situation. Yeah, it's all in being prepared for different situations. So, you know, another thing on the semi-truck that you should really have would be a decent first aid kit. Make sure you know how to use it. Make sure it's got the correct stuff inside of it. You know, make sure you have tools in the truck to fix small things. I'm not saying carry a massive tool chest on the truck, but you know, make sure you have some tools where you know you can perform maintenance on the vehicle and stuff like that. You know, I know I'm forgetting at least a few things, but this video is already long enough as it is. So, yeah, there's the basics on prepping in a semi-truck.